Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Youthman. In today's video, we're going to be hooking up for the very first time the Power Sound Audio S3611 mammoth of a subwoofer. Now before we get too far in the video, if you're into home theater, audio, and video, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you'll be notified when the next video drops. Alright guys, yesterday we did an unboxing and an overview of the S3611 from Power Sound Audio. Now this thing is a beast. I'm looking at it. It's a massive subwoofer. It has dual 18-inch drivers. They're dual opposing, so one's shooting one way, one is firing the other direction. It has a massive 1920 watt continuous amplifier and a 4300 watt peak amplifier. This thing, just spec wise, is pretty impressive. It'll hit down to about 17 hertz, and then the in-room response is even lower than that, all the way down to about 7 hertz. So I'm super excited about this. I've always wanted to hear what dual 18s sound like in my theater room, and well, today's going to be the day, so let's get into it. Alright, so the first thing we need to do is get behind the cabinet so that we can unhook one of the RCAs that's going to my dual PB16 Ultras from SVS. And we're going to take one of those and bring it over to the massive, oh my gosh, this thing's pretty big. Now, granted, the PB16s, they're huge too. So really, man, when you get to this point, it's pretty ridiculous. Most guys maybe don't need dual 18s. I just like bass, and I like to feel it, and I like to have that low extension. So I'm excited about hearing the S3611. But we're going to get behind here, unhook one of those. For now, I'm just going to leave one of my subwoofers hooked up because I want to be able to kind of bounce back and forth. I've got a great system behind my rack under here. I've got 2 switches, and those switches can turn on or off either one of my subs. So at any point, I can reach under there, turn off both power to the subwoofers, or I can just turn one off or the other off. So I figured that'd be good to be able to just kind of non-scientifically be able to switch back and forth. Now I know what you guys are thinking. Well, Michael, they're not going to be in the same location. That's coming. But for now, just to have some fun with it, I want to be able to easily switch back and forth just to hear some of the differences on my own. And then when we kind of get into the actual testing, I'll definitely want to make sure that it's in the same exact location as the PB16, which that's going to be a pain in the rump because the PB16s are 175 pounds, and this one, well, you know, it's 143 pounds as well. So they're not easy to move, so we're going to have to definitely get some help to move those around. So let's jump behind the cabinet. We'll get the wires that we need, run that over here, we'll get it hooked up. So let's do it. All right, so one thing I love about my cabinet that I had designed and built is one of the biggest frustrations for me when I swap out components is not having easy access to the rear of my equipment. So with this one, I can easily slide out this bottom cabinet here. And then we'll go ahead and turn on some lights. Turn on some LEDs. We got a work light back here. And I can easily lift up 150-inch screen supported by hydraulic lifts. And then now I can easily get behind my equipment, climb in there if I need to. So we're going to come over here and grab some cables. Got an RCA cable here. I'll tell you one thing I picked up not too long ago are these little Velcro straps. Man, these things are awesome. Definitely allow me to keep all my cables nice and tidy and organized, as well as some wire management behind the cabinet. So we're just going to need one of these. Now I need to find out. That may not be long enough, so let me grab another one. I think I've got one that's longer than that. I keep all kinds of cables around. You just never know what you're going to be running into. That one there is See if that's any longer. Nope, honestly, well, it's a little bit longer, so we're going to use this longer one. Okay, we're going to be hooking up to the LFE channel, so I don't need this little wire splitter here from Monster. Go ahead and take that off. Now, I've already turned off the power to the subwoofers. We're just going to reach back here on the Marantz SR8012, and we're just going to unplug that subwoofer over there. And we're going to connect this cable here. And then what I'll do is that should be able to reach, yep. So I'm actually going to run it back here into my cabinet. Where you at, bro? There we go. So now I can pull this through. It'll be out of the way. Cool. Perfect length. Now we can push this back in. Go ahead and close this. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to turn on. There we go. So I just have that subwoofer on over there. We'll leave the right one off. Go ahead and turn off some lights. On the back of this, I'm going to use the LFE channel. So I'm just going to lean it up so I can see it. And that's going to be the top RCA. And for now, we're going to put the crossover wide open. Room size, I'm going to put it to probably medium. So straight up and down. And for the gain, I'm just going to put it about halfway for right now. Delay, I'm going to leave all the way to the left. And I'm going to set the switch to auto. And we should be good to go. Now we just got to get some power to it. So plug this in. There. Alright, so now we got juice to it. I'm going to go ahead and take the grills off. Because what fun is having a subwoofer if you can't see it in action. So we'll just lay these off to the side. Now I like these grills. They feel really nice and sturdy. They're not flimsy at all. They've got metal grill pegs back here. And it looks like just some MDF wood. So basically for now we're just going to have these firing down along this sidewall here. So let's put on some music and see what it sounds like. Okay, so I went ahead and put some blue painter's tape on the woofer so that you can kind of see it a little bit better. I know a lot of times in the video you can't see the woofer moving as much just because of frame rate, but I thought that might help a little bit. The other thing I'll need to do is back down the microphone level so that it doesn't distort in the microphone. So I'm going to play some royalty-free music from No Copyright Sounds. they have a lot of music on YouTube that you can use for your videos without YouTube flagging them for copyright infringement. But this should provide some pretty good low frequencies for us to test out. So here we go. Alright guys, that was my first experience with Power Sound Audio. And we're talking no calibration, no level setting. I left my AVR settings just like they were. Did not rerun Odyssey. Placed the subwoofer to the side. Put the gain on the subwoofer at about half volume. Holy cow. That is it. There's a lot of bass coming from two 18-inch sealed subwoofers. Now, of course, I haven't tried this for movies or anything. Just wanted to get an initial test. And so if you noticed in the video, I have the microphone sitting right here to my right. The subwoofer is over there about 6 feet. I measured it. And while I was sitting here listening, I noticed that I have the microphone propped up on my remote control. That's typically what I do, right off to the side. I've got it angled up towards my mouth. So that's just what I normally do. So I had it lifted up. Well, while I was over there filming, I turned around and looked over here and I saw the remote start to lean and then it just fell. And I'm like, man, I got to capture that on film. So I put it up just like I normally do, turned the camera around here during the bass test, reran it again, and just put those two clips together so that you could see what happened. But decided to get out the dB meter to see, you know, what kind of sound pressure level are we hitting from 6 feet away. And the peak was about 118 decibels. And honestly, guys, 118 decibels, that's loud. I mean, goodness, I hardly ever listen to it that loud. But I've got the receiver on -10, so that's pretty normal when I'm watching a movie, setting it about -10 below reference. That was a lot. I'll be honest, man, but it sounded sweet. Sounded super, super clean. And again, I'd love to be able to dial it in and tweak it, but without changing anything right now. Oh my goodness. I mean, we're talking extreme amount of output. Definitely walking around the room, when you only have one subwoofer, you're going to hit some dead spots. And so I would walk over to certain areas of the room. So I'm used to two subwoofers, which helps even out the frequency response from seat to seat so that everybody gets a good amount of bass in the room. And so that typically helps. But where I was sitting and where that subwoofer is placed, man, I had plenty of tactile feel. Like I said, it was vibrating this whole chair enough to knock the remote and the microphone down during the demo. So, well, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick intro to the Power Sound Audio S3611 Dual 18 subwoofer. I think I was pretty accurate when I titled it, my last video, The Beast. And we are getting ready to really unleash this beast and see what it can do in my theater room here. We're going to be doing some testing with movies as well as different music and soundtracks. The hard part about doing movie demos is the copyright infringement deal. So it just gets kind of hard because YouTube sometimes will flag your videos, and I've even had YouTube actually pull my video entirely. So I don't want to spend, tons of hours making this video only to have YouTube pull it. So I'll try to find some copyright-free material to do for the demos like I did today. Well, guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that thumbs up. Share this video if you've got friends that are into audio. And if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe because I've got lots of videos planned in the near future. Well, guys, as always, you be blessed, and we'll catch you in the next video.